for now more of a look at the modernizations of projects in the country and how it all ties together, we have a panel moderated by Werner Ayukeba, the Senior Vice President of the Africa Energy Chamber. He'll be overseeing a very learned set of speakers and will be probing very deeply on all our behalf. So I'd ask you just to bear with me for a couple of moments as we continue to set the stage for the upcoming round table, further focusing on Angola's operations. We're just moments away. I'm just waiting for the nod from the tech team. Prior to inviting the guests up, I would ask you, in fact, I'm just doing it myself because I've just remembered, when you do speak, panelists, this is for you. Please remember to use the mic, bring the mic quite close to your mouth so that none of us miss any of the insights that you are going to share. Now, I believe we're good to go. So, Werner, I would invite you to come up on stage and set us up for further conversation. Thank you very much. Join me in giving them a round of applause.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me. I think I would just start by calling up our speakers pretty much. But before I start, thank you very much, Your Excellency, for putting forward what your vision is and your view with respect to the Angolan oil and gas sector. This particular session is Invest in Angola Energies. I want to start by saying thank you to the sponsors of this particular panel. We're talking about ACREP, Azul Energy, and Sonangol for pretty much making this particular panel possible. I would start by calling up Alcides Andrade from ANPG. Alcides is an executive administrator with ANPG, the Angolan regulator. Ms. Katia Ipalanga. Tony Henning, please, Chevron. Adriano Mongini, if you're just here. Azul Energy. We have as well Mahesh, Mod Bakdeva. Ian Afentra. Miguel Batista, SLB. We have Rui Rodriguez, Katrina. Rui Rodriguez from Qatar. And lastly, we have Abdullahi. Are you here? Abdullahi, are you here? He's not yet here. That's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for being here. As you can see, we have a huge panel. The reason for that is the significant interest in Angola. Angola is a huge player with respect to the oil and gas space in Africa, and always whenever there is topics to discuss with respect to this, we do certainly always have a huge audience. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for that. Now I'm going to start pretty much, you can see we have a huge panel, but we're going to have an interactive discussion. I'm going to start with Mr. Alcides Andrade. We've just heard His Excellency the Minister talking about a number of projects. In that sense, he also mentioned the ongoing bid rounds. What is the agency doing to basically make sure that we can see the targets that His Excellency was talking about, 1.6 in that sense, and possibly going above? What is the agency doing to be able to ensure that we can meet those targets?
Thank you, Werner. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is a loaded panel.
Yes.
The minister got a panel from himself, and now we have about 10 people here.
Well, that's what it takes to be minister.
Yes.
You know, when in the future
Yes.
you're a minister, you get the panel for yourself.
No, but I'm looking forward to see you with this challenge.
Yeah.
10 people in 65 or 70 minutes.
That's fine.
It's a pleasure to be here. And this event has been known as event that, as a platform to connect people from the industry around the world. And the house is full today. At the agency, we are very much excited to be here, thrilled, and very much looking forward to interact and have a discussion with each one of you about all of the investment opportunities that we have available. Perhaps I'll just take a quick moment and see a show of hands on those that are currently working or are investing in Angola. If you can raise your hands, please. Excellent. So if you raise your hand, we appreciate the collaboration and contributions to the Angolan oil and gas industry. We want you to stay, and we want to make sure that we create the conditions for you to continue to invest in the oil and gas industry in Angola. Now, for the other half that didn't raise your hand, it's not too late. You can still be saved. But we are available. We are pretty much looking forward to have interactions with you and to find out what you need so that you can start investing in Angola. So by this time next year, when I ask this same question, you can raise your hands. No, Werner, just going back to your question, what are we doing? And I would like perhaps to characterize my answer in 3 aspects. One is agility. Number 2, flexibility. Number 3, pragmatism. Agility in a sense that we all know Angola has been in the oil and gas industry, in this business for about 100 years, initial exploration in the early 1900s, and then discovery and started producing in the 60s, producing in onshore, shallow water, and then deep water in 2000, reaching the peak of production in 2008, and then decline from 2016. To tackle those challenges, the government approved a series of reforms starting in 2017. Restructuring of the oil and gas industry to improve the business environment, bring more transparency, and also make it more competitive and attractive to the investment, and be a place of choice for everybody in this room. We also believe that the other reforms that were implemented to increase exploration activities, to bring additional incentives, fiscal, contractor incentives to marginal fields. We now have, after the implementation, we have now marginal fields being produced. We also have a new legislation since 2018 for gas that made it possible for the investors to have access to gas rights, to explore, develop, produce, and monetize, similar to oil. As you heard the minister, we are now working on our first project for non-associated gas that is going to bring gas very shortly. We also have another strategy initiatives that were implemented, like exploration strategy and licensing rounds. We have executed so far since 2019 4 licensing rounds, and more than 30 concessions have been awarded with the perspective of bringing 50
Let me
towards
just jump in
the end
here,
of the year.
because you're talking about licensing round. There's
Yes.
2025 coming. Is there anything we can expect differently to what we've been seeing?
We believe, and I was gonna go to flexibility.
Yes.
Flexibility is number 2, which we are always looking to create the conditions for the investors to recover the investment quickly and to have a favorable return. So yes, you can expect the licensing round from next year to have something different. The focus here is either through increasing the cost oil or having a better balance on the profit oil split, or even looking at in cases where it's possible to have fiscal incentives in those projects as well. So talking about number two. Number three is pragmatism. Pragmatism in a sense that we understand that this is a competitive world. The tendency shows us that the level of investment for oil and gas is reducing, and the number of countries competing for that investment is increasing. So we need to find solutions every day to be competitive out there. When the agency was created back in 2019, it was, we found that there were a long list of pending issues that needed to be resolved. There was also a situation where we're taking too long to respond to the investors' requests and needs. So what we did is we optimized our processes and tools to respond quicker, because the biggest incentive that you can give to the investors is to address the needs as quickly as possible.
So what I'm taking is that list has been shortened to probably 1 or 2 points. And if at all you're looking for agility and pragmatism, ladies and gentlemen, you go to Angola, and certainly look for Alcides at the ANPG, and you'll have just 1 or 2 requirements, nothing, and then you're done. Is that correct?
That is correct, and you don't need, you can come to Angola next week. This week I'm here.
Great
Thank
stuff.
you.
So please look for Alcides, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to do stuff in Angola. I'll just move next to my next guest, Engineer Katia Palanga, board member, executive board member with Sonangol. We heard His Excellency the Minister talk here. He didn't say, I don't care about oil. He just said he cares about a lot of things, a lot more stuff and a lot of other things which are happening in the value chain, in the oil and gas space and everything. And I just wanted to ask you, there is the trend globally around moving from oil and gas companies into energy companies and companies that do diversified things. Could you please give me a sense of what projects does Sonangol have in the process which could also be attractive for other investors?
Thank you, Werner. Hi, good afternoon. And it's very important for us, so as Sonangol, to be here. Good collaboration, Africa Energy Week after Angola Oil and Gas, and today we can again discuss this important energy, not the love, but the energy that we move. And in terms of what you ask, for sure, after the restructuration of Sonangol 2019, Sonangol started not a traditional national oil and company, but the energy, integrated energy company. With that, we are looking the opportunities for investments, the projects not only for oil and gas and also the cleaner energies based on our ESG and SDG goals. With that transition, we are involved also in many projects, and we can say that we are still investing in oil and gas for upstream, looking the opportunities for new investors comes, and we can discuss these during these 3 days here in Cape Town. But we have also more than looking for more production, offshore and onshore blocks. We are also looking downstream segments. On that, we have refineries. Today, Angola have about 65,000 barrels per day processing capacity. We are looking for more than 400,000 barrels until 2027. Means that with the 3 refineries putting in place, Lobito, Cabinda, and Soyo, we will reach this capacity. Besides that, we have also projects that is looking for renewables energies, and for sure, for those projects, we are looking for more opportunities with the more investors coming. Today, we have already 2 projects executed, one in Namib and another one in Huila, the 2 provinces in Angola. And the first project is already in place with 25 megawatts of cleaner energies. and Quilemba also we came with some more. We have also a storage capacity projects, our terminal in Barra do Dande. Our ministers talk about most of the projects regarding to that. We have also the research and development projects, the center that we will improve some more technologies, the renewables, all for this phase, these transition phases that is important for Sonangol. For sure, we will not describe everything here in this table, but we can have a meetings B2B and discuss more about for each project what we have in hands, how they can come and invest with us.
So what I'm hearing here is if you're looking at midstream projects, refineries and everything, Sonangol is your partner.
Sure, always.
Okay. Well, I'll move to Adriano, Azul Energy. We've been hearing Azul a lot in the news of recently, but actually not about Angola, but with respect to Namibia. So there's a little bit of jitters in Angola. You know, what's going on? You know, are we losing one of our favorite sons? You know, can you give us a little bit of insights on what Azul is actually looking at doing in Angola, not Namibia, in Angola?
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. We did this important step forward to enter in Namibia, and we are looking to have the first exploration well drilled soon in Namibia, but Angola is where Azul Energy is based. 95% of our employees are in Angola, and it is definitely the core of our business. And for Azul in Angola, it is a very exciting year, the year in front of us. We are, as the minister was remembering,
so you're just flirting, but you know the main relationship continues to be Angola. You're flirting outside, but the main relationship remains Angola.
That's true. That's true. That's right.
Okay. So, yeah, continue.
No, that just to remember just a few things that is happening, because this year is a really exciting year. We have two projects, Agogo, that we believe that in 1 year now we can start up, so more than 6 months earlier than originally scheduled. And we are aiming, not yet there, but we are aiming also NGC starting up end of next year. And we are working for that. But more than that, we have also 3 a very important exploration, high risk, high reward exploration for next year. We have the very first, talking about gas exploration well in Angola, Block 114. Then we have an ultra deep water well, Block 4647, that is a very interesting prospect. And then we will test Block 28 in Namibia later next year or beginning of the 2026. So in the next year, we will help to reshape the upstream shape of Angola oil and gas.
And what about the new gas consortium? I know you're playing a role there as well.
Yeah, this NGC, this is what I'm saying, that is progressing very well, and we are already, the FID, the startup was planned the 1st of July 2026. Now we are early 2026, aiming to end of 2025. And that will be the first non-associated gas project. It will be probably the first of many others projects following.
Okay, thank you for that. Katrina, let me come to you. Exxon is not a company that needs any introduction in that sense. I know you're leading Exxon's efforts down there. I was told in preparing for this that you're going to give us a scoop. I'm sure everyone is waiting to hear what's going on in the Namib. Is there anything you can tell us?
Thank you, Werner. It's a pleasure to be on the panel today with such an esteemed group. I'm afraid your information may not have been fully complete. I will say, you know, it's been an honor to partner with ANPG and Marimpet to be the first to drill in the Namib Basin. You know, exactly as Engineer Alcides had referred to earlier, you know, that agility, that partnership, you know, has really allowed us to step in there and to secure licenses, the data that the country has made available. So the attitude and the approach that the concessionaire has made, you know, has incentivized this type of activity. And We've reached total depth in the well, most recently. We're proud to be the first to drill there, to drill safely, over that period. And now we're in the analysis stage, and, we'll look forward to, as the minister said, in due time to sharing more.
Well, thank you for that. I know you might not be able to say anything about Namib, but certainly around Block 15, there's a lot which you can say. I mean, there's been a lot of activity that's been going on. We've seen the announcements in that sense. What can you really share with us with respect to how you guys are moving on the developments on Block 15?
Yes, I'm tremendously proud of Block 15 and what our partners, our service providers have supported us to deliver in Block 15. We just celebrated our 30th anniversary of Block 15 in August, and as you referred to, we had an announcement earlier this year of the Lakembe discovery, which was our 19th discovery in the block, and that came on the following a redevelopment program that we commenced in 2022. So that was a tremendous success. We increased our production in the block over 30%, offsetting decline, which in a mature basin is really something special. And it spurred the idea, I would say, for the Lakembe prospect. And then through that agility, that flexibility, we had those discussions, with the concessionaire and our partners, and we're able to very quickly, within a year, leverage IPL. I think Lakembe was the first IPL well, and have a successful discovery in early March of this year. And so, now we're at this stage where, again, we're working with the same group to enable development, ordering long leads, preparing. And so we would anticipate late next year, early 26, to be drilling and developing that. And again, leveraging the opportunity of IPL and the ability to continue to make these opportunities compete within our global portfolios to add to that. So, this incremental performance legislation, as referred to by both the minister and Engineer Alcides, enables us to relook at things that, maybe a while back weren't as competitive, and now think about how do we leverage that to breathe life into our new facility, or our facilities, and to think about things like facility life and extensions, incremental wells, infrastructure-led exploration. So I'm tremendously excited to operate these assets, and like I said, with the support of partner group and service providers and concessionaire, it's been a real success story for us, both in Angola, and I'd say as a corporation, it's really shone a light on what we can do in these assets through strong partnerships. I
can hear a lot of agility here, agility there. It looks like Angola is a very agile country. Everybody, you need to get going there. Let me move on. Thank you so much, Katrina. Let me move on to Rui. Total, Angola's biggest producer. There's just a lot. You have an anniversary, which you just recently celebrated. What's next for Total?
Okay. First of all, let me present myself. Rui Rodriguez. I am Angolan. I'm African, and I'm here representing one international company. And this is one of the things that Total Energy is doing also in Angola, is investing in human capital. If I am here, it's also because my company is invested on local resources, and that's why I am proud to be here. I am proud to be represented by an international company. What we are doing in Angola. Total Energy, let's start by, before going to the what is the next, what we are doing. Total Energy right now is investing in downstream. We are one of the major investing downstream. We are partners with Sonangol. We have more than...
How's that partnership going? How is the Sonangol partnership going?
Sonangol is our main partner. They are a partner in all our business in Angola,
you
since the downstream up to the upstream. Yeah, very good partnership.
Oh, that's the answer that I wanted.
It's our key partner. It's our key partner is with us in downstream. They invite us to be in downstream. We are there with them. We are also with Sonangol in renewables. We are investing in the solar panel plant in the south of Angola with Sonangol. And we are together in producing close to half of production of Angola. We are the #1 operator. Of course, we are with Chevron, with all Exxon, with Azule. All these majors in Angola, we are partner of. What about future? What we are doing next? Right now, we are also doing exploration wells in Angola. We have drilled recently one exploration well on Block 17. We have drilling last year an exploration well on Block 20 on Kwanza Basin. We are investing on exploration. And we just this year, we launched a new project, the one that the minister was speaking about, that is Caminho. Is the fast offshore development in the Kwanza Basin in Angola. It was really a quite challenging project, and we are on the way, on the track to execute the project right now.
That's nice. But I guess I hear you, but on many people's minds is Camino at the moment. I mean, $6 billion. We saw the signatures. You know, I saw our cities in the pictures. They were happy signing and whatever. What does that really mean in terms of jobs, in terms of the opportunity itself? His Excellency the Minister spoke about it in terms of the gas developments, you know, the greener nature of the project and all of that. Can you, in a very brief setting, could you please give us a sense?
Yes. First of all, Caminho means path in English. Caminho is really a path. The name, the significance of name is really we are opening a new province in Angola. All the production of Angola is mainly coming from the northern part, and now we are going down to Kwanza Basin. And Caminho is that. There is a lot of challenge on it. In terms of resources, it's not that big, and there is a lot of challenge. We are opening a new province. We are opening a new area of development in terms of oil and gas. We are bringing new partners on the country, even to develop it. We have our partner Petronas. We are bringing them to the country to open new players on the country. With the Caminho also, it's a project that we are developing with the high standard in terms of energy efficiency. We are putting the high standard because we are today, when we are launching a project, we need to set the standard as it is a reference for the next generation. Today, all our FPSO that we are producing is zero flaring. We are not producing closed flare, no flaring. When we are producing, all the gas are re-injected to the process. We are not allowed to flare, and we are maximizing our energy optimization on the FPSO. In terms of job, what we have right now, we have our main contractor. We have a new yard on the northern part of Angola that will be part of the consortium. Will be construction some of the infrastructures. We will have a long-term contract with a local company to operate the boat. We will have more than 10 million man-hours of local people working for the project during the 20 years of production. And we will also have at least 70,000 barrels per day on Angola production from 2028.
Well, thank you for that. I now see where the numbers the minister was talking about are coming from in terms of where production is going to come. I think one of the beneficiaries of that is certainly my friend Miguel here, where there is a lot coming on SLB to be part of that particular project. You just celebrated 55 years of excellence and collaboration is what you called it. You had your entire team, global team, fly into Angola. Beyond the dancing and the celebration and the pomp, what can we really expect from SLB going forwards in Angola?
Thank you, Werner. And let me start. Yeah, we have some words, big words. No, it's a great pleasure and honor to be here in this panel with such a distinguished audience. I'll put it in Angolan context. It's good to be in a Conversa de Quintal, in a very cultural, entitled statement there. No, but yes, 2024, it's a great year for us. We celebrated the 55 years of presence in country, which was really a good opportunity for us to just showcase what we've been doing over the last 5.5 decades, which is really centered around providing value to our customers and above all to the people of Angola. So yes, it's good to see that the business environment in Angola is quite exciting these days. I will state the obvious, but we are seeing a lot of activity
Are
happening.
you just saying that because you're Angolan, or is it actually that exciting?
Well, I'm speaking on behalf of SLB in Angola today.
Okay.
So you'll see me selling something else in the course of the day. So
Okay.
today yeah, exactly. But that's the life of a serviceman.
Okay.
No, what I was saying is there's a lot of activity happening all across the life field, really the life of the oil field. We have a lot of activity in exploration, development, production, and late life. We really have activity all across it. We're also having a lot of activity on exploration side, new blocks, as we mentioned, 33 new blocks. We're drilling south, we're drilling outwards, deeper water, we're drilling deep, literally. So with that, there's a lot of excitement. Good opportunity for the industry to continue to push the boundaries of technology and really delivering value. So I will speak on behalf of the industry rather than just as SLB. But I really have to say that all of the changes that happened in the last few years really generating a lot of excitement, and it's good to see the industry in the country coming back.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about excitement. There was also a lot of excitement on the side of Chevron. 70 years in country, so there's a lot of celebrations, a lot of anniversaries going on in Angola as well. You had your entire board fly out into Angola. Quite impressive in that sense. Can you give us a sneak peek of what was discussed? In essence, what I'm trying to look for is, what is Chevron's focus in the next couple of years with respect to projects in Angola, and what can we expect?
Thank you, Werner. Thank you, Werner, and thanks for the organizers for this important week. It's an honor to be here. So yes, excited, 70 years, and of course that's only achieved through good partners. Many represented here with me today on the suppliers and investors, and of course with the state. It was great to have the board. It had been several years since the board of directors had been, and they were there in full support. So we leveraged them to the best that we could. And we talked really about the 70 years and then also what's to come. So in 70 years, we lead. We've continued to be a partner in leadership for gas. We have a couple projects that are underway. Our Sonangol gas connection project is due to have first gas next month. And after that, we'll have booster compression. And the combination of those two will deliver and have the capacity to have 600 million cubic feet of gas available for a Congo River crossing. And I think it's just a testament to the gas that we've been involved for a long time. It was 18 years ago that Angola LNG took a final investment decision. So it was really at the forefront way back then when LNG was just starting that we leaned in with investors and said, hey, let's eliminate flaring. And now, of course, there's a monetization story about it. But Sonangol gas was always part of that story and part of that profile. And so now it's just execution time. What's also exciting about Sonangol gas is that we had it fabricated in Lobito in Benguela. So there were 1,000 jobs created directly and another 3,000 indirectly through partners and in the industry. On the liquid side, we also have South Angola that will come on next year, so we continue looking at the liquids. And earlier this year, we signed a risk service contract with our partner Sonangol and the state, and so we're excited about Block 49 and 50 having high-end seismic very soon. So we continue to look in the gas as well, oil. And then we also look at carbon. So there's a number of things that we've looked just recently in the last year with the state from evaluating. We have a couple teams that are looking at potential offset projects, what could potential legislation look like. I think we continue to look at the industry as a whole. I think His Excellency said it well. We're value driven, and we've been here a long time because it's been oil, gas, and now lower carbon, but it's continued to be valuable for us and our partners and for the state. And so I look forward to continuing. The board talked about what's happened, what's been achieved, but then also what's the future hold.
I mean, when you look globally, particularly at majors like yourself, there's a lot of competition within portfolios to be able to allocate resources, particularly to really new projects. Is there any hope that we could get some really new projects in Angola in that sense, from Chevron's view?
I think as long as the conditions are right, you know, we hear be agile, be creative, power of partnership, and the gas master plan lays that all out well.
Correct.
You have to have the resource, and then you can create the infrastructure to create and deliver on a demand. And so if you can line all those up and you can have the funding and you have willing and able partners to get together to solve, I think you have experts along the value chain, and you need this facilitator, this connector, to make it happen. But right now, it is an exciting time. I think even case in point of all these panelists here investing in the country, it's a right moment.
We're hearing from Tony, it's the right moment to be in Angola. Certainly, Ian, you're not going to be celebrating 70 years anytime soon. You just got into the market. But what can we expect mid to long term?
Well, no, thank you, Werner, and thank you very much for the invitation to join the panel. I mean, Eventra is effectively, I guess, the new kid on the block. 3 years since we entered Angola with the Sonangol entry when Sonangol divested their share in Block 305. And then we did another transaction with Azule, with Adriano and his team, and also INA. So 3 that gained us 30% in what we view as a huge asset. Maybe not necessarily appropriate for the larger companies, but for the smaller companies, when you're looking at a midlife asset, and this is an industrial transition that's been going on in the North Sea, in the Gulf of Mexico for many years, and in Angola, that type of transition as assets become more mature and more of a focus for smaller companies will go on for many, many years, 50 years.
So are you looking at more entries in similar styled assets in Angola? I mean, we've just heard there's been anniversary 70, 50, that gives you a sense of a lot of midlife and sort of late life assets which are coming there. Must be an interesting market to be in.
It's a fantastic market. I mean, if you look around, we're much more focused in how do we deploy capital and returns as quickly as possible. So how do you get production back quickly? And we've got sort of the inorganic, which is going after new assets, but 305 has got a lot to go anyway from an organic perspective. So the operator, Sonangol, has delivered 30% gain in production over the last year and a half. And I think there's a lot more to go as well. And then also can reduce the emissions. So we look at investing in the original asset, the one that got us in. We are constantly on the lookout for new ones. Dr. Alcides and his team made the onshore Kwanza. Very interesting.
So everybody
for us.
you should be talking to is around this table in terms of looking out for other assets. I'm sure we would be looking at what is happening on 305 and ultimately really, really appreciate to have you here. Let me move to Mahesh. I don't know why I keep saying Mahesh. Mott McDermott, big name. Of course, you're sitting next to your partner in that sense, Rui. Everybody wants to know where are we with respect to Begonia?
Sure. Well, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. I think I'm stepping back and looking at it, right? Amongst the panelists, when I was just looking at it and then thinking about, we're probably in the back
I think
end.
you might need to speak much more.
Yeah. Is it any better?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we are at the back end of the spectrum when it comes to developments, right? So you have development partners, and then you've got the developers, then you've got people like SLB who go in front end, and then we're at the back end of it, developing it as an EPCI contractor. From a context perspective, McDermott's a 100-year-old company, right? We were 100 years last year. And we were the first one to start offshore structures and offshore developments worldwide. But then we are pretty new in terms of Angola. We've been here only for 3 years. So if I step back and look at it, yes, your specific question was, where is Begonia? But then, we follow generally the developers in terms of where the projects are. But we didn't just come into Angola because there was one Begonia project, right? We looked at it a little bit differently because wherever we've been, we tend to have a footprint and we tend to be there for a long term. So we looked at this play and then came in. So Begonia is our first project. But then what we are doing currently in Angola, step back and look, reflecting back as to what the minister was saying as well in terms of, so number one, we are also setting up an engineering office in Angola, in which we'll be training the engineers around the world, and we will be doing engineering work in Angola in the long term. The second part of it actually, starting with Begonia and hopefully for the next few projects is also looking at, so we have identified a series of resources who are all undergoing training. And again, we didn't do it because it's a mandatory thing to do, it's a tick in the box. What we've done is many of these resources are working in our offices around the world. Actually, a couple of resources have now been already expatriated and have got full-time jobs in some of our Middle East concerns as well. So that's the second aspect of it. Third thing, if you look at it, McDermott with its 6 yards around the world has the largest fabrication capacity around the world for offshore business. However, in Angola, what we are doing is we are partnering with some of the local fabrication facilities, and we are bringing in expertise so that this can be developed on a long term. So, these are some of the things we are doing while we're delivering projects. So, to finally come back to your question, so Begonia, so the key thing in Begonia is from an engineering perspective, we are largely done. All materials are delivered. I think fabrication is at its peak and it's coming to an end actually in Angola. And our flagship pipeline vessel will enter anytime soon. So we are at the peak of completion. I wouldn't specifically talk about dates, but what I can talk about is the fact that it's an exciting period as far as Begonia is concerned.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. I'll come to you, Abdullahi. And the one thing that is different to a lot of people here, and by the way, I know you just arrived at the airport and you couldn't do anything to be here, so we've done everything to be here. But why I'm excited to have you here is because you are looking to get into Angola, and you're not yet there, which all of these guys are. So could you give me a sense of what you are looking at? What are you looking to get into Angola for?
Thank you very much. So sorry to be late. But like you said, finally I'm here. I think the most important thing is for all the other parties that are there already, from what I can see, everybody is happy. So, the most, yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Who doesn't want to be happy?
Yeah. So, I think for every investor or every business to go to any country, especially in Africa, is to not to meet too many stumbling blocks. Especially for Angola, I know with the ANPG reform that happened some years back, I can see, you can see the investor, it's more investor friendly now than even before, you know. So I was there already, and I'm going to be there again, and I think it's the right place to be, you know.
Did he slip in the notes for you to be able to read?
No, I have not even met him. But I met other people.
Yeah.
I've met so many other people, but I was happy being there. From what I see and from what I hear, and like I said, from all.
So what are you looking at? Are you looking at blocks? Are you looking at projects, for example, in the midstream, such as the fertilizer? What exactly are we looking at?
So I'm looking at blocks.
Okay.
Both the onshore and offshore.
Okay. Producing or still in development stage?
Yeah, so I think if I may say, there might be some producing asset that might come on stream for bid. We will participate in any form. You know, will be there to, if it's the producing assets, if it is the exploratory assets, even though it's not easy to find money for the exploratory asset now, but we'll be there. But I think Angola is the next destination for everybody to be.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure that's music to Aldea Mercedes.
By the way, I'm not Angolan, so.
That's fine. Thank you very much for that. Katrina, I want to come to you. We always talk about oil and gas. When is the next well going to come on stream? I'd love to have the scoop. But it's important to say Exxon is focusing a lot this year on STEM, STEM for teenagers, STEM for kids. Can you give us a little bit of, I know we're running out of time, but can you give us a little bit of a sense of what is going on there?
Sure, Werner, glad to. And you know, glad to give a plug for what we have coming up ahead. So from an ExxonMobil perspective, if you look at our global energy outlook between now and 2050, you know, we're expecting about 2 billion more people and a 15% increase in the energy required. A lot of that's, you know, right here on the continent, a lot of people, a lot of energy needed. And so how do you do that, right? What do? You need technology, you need science, you need engineering, you need mathematics. So you need all those solutions. And how do we find those solutions? Through our youth. And so ExxonMobil, in partnering with our ExxonMobil Foundation, you know, proud to sponsor a few projects this year in Angola, Mozambique, Nigeria, and Namibia. So one that we'll showcase later here today is a STEM competition that we've run with schools. And so these kids look at real problems and look for real engineering solutions. So they've competed amongst their peers, you know, won the opportunity to come here. So encourage everybody to come out and support them and see them compete. And to get a flavor for what is possible through STEM. So that's, you know, certainly one of our large opportunities that we've pursued. And then the second one that you and I have talked about before is a partnership we have with the Junior NBA. So partnering up, you know, there's a huge love for basketball in Angola. You know, leveraging that energy that kids have around basketball and then saying, okay, how do I apply that to STEM? And so the angles, the math, the velocities, et cetera, trying to find that way to drive that STEM passion in kids. And so that's an ongoing program we have too. So proud to support and to support the STEM education for the kids.
Let me come to you, Engineer Katia. I don't know if at all you're a fan of basketball. Maybe you qualify. But I think just one last one for you. On the, you know, transition is a big thing and all of that, and part of that, the minister was talking about quartz and all of those minerals that are part of driving that transition. Is that something Sonangol is looking at?
Yes, Werner, thank you for the question, because as an integrated energy company, we are looking also for a long-term vision and strategy, all the critical minerals. I think today, because of our renewable projects, what we are putting in place for solar panels, we need also to secure those materials. And for that, we choose also to start investing on that scope. And today, we are looking, we choose three for the critical and strategic minerals: lithium, uranium, and quartz, to start and to secure our energy.
So if you are in critical minerals and you're looking to develop stuff, there's a lot of stuff going on in Angola. Please, you know, you should be speaking to Engineer Katia. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the round and just, in a quick fire way, just try and get a final touch around. Chevron, big name, huge name. What's next? What are we looking at? What is going to excite us, which we can hear now from you, Tony?
Yeah, well, I felt like I covered it. Anything, you know, we're open to projects that deliver value and align with our strategy. Locally, the strategy is oil, gas, and lower carbon, and that's aligned with our corporate strategy.
Okay, thank you very much. Ian, I'll just go to you.
Growth in 305, growth onshore Kwanzaa, and growth in new deals.
Onshore Kwanzaa, 305, which we're going to be looking at closely, and?
New deals.
Okay, interesting. Miguel, I know we speak a lot about development, youth development, which is something that SLB likes to focus a lot. A lot of people across the world in many different places doing their own thing, all started off as SLB. Is there anything special which we need to know that you guys are doing again with respect to that?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But I will start with a specific focus for Angola will be production.
Yes.
Production. We heard the minister talking about the objectives of Angola to still be above 1 million barrels per day. So our real focus will be how can we support the industry to maintain that goal. And we really are thinking to combine three things, which is, number one is the domain expertise that we have as SLB, combined with our digital capability, and then all of that enhanced with cutting-edge technology to increase the production. We know that there's a lot of wells. Most of the production in Angola come from mature fields, and we also know that the cost and the carbon intensity of recovered fluids are lower, and we also know that the success rate of interventions are quite low. So addressing that challenge, increasing the success rate at the same time that we reduce the cost and reduce the carbon intensity of the barrels to be recovered is what we're focusing on. So we're opening a digital performance center which will be really centered around that to see if we can contribute to have the government achieving its goal.
Interesting. Abdullahi, are you going to Angola tomorrow? Or?
Yes, I'm going. For us, it's opportunity, waiting for the opportunity on how to become next door to Chevron and my friend here that just went 3 years ago. So that's what we're expecting. Okay. Hopefully we will get an opportunity to be.
And we can start discussion here. I'm here this week.
Okay. Thank you.
But just to that, which is very important, I think it's quite important to say the government overall looked at things like visas in the past. For everybody who is here, a lot of names, a lot of hands up, a lot of changes we have to admit. We love to criticize governments, I do, but we have to admit when things are also done better. You know, it's much more easy and accessible for you to go to Angola and be able to do what you want to do there.
Yeah, as of today, yes. But 2 years ago, I think it wasn't, or 3 years ago. But now it's okay. The embassy, they are more friendly. You know, they are even the ambassador, especially in Nigeria, is investors to Angola and whatever. You know, like I was in Morocco 2 days ago. That's one of the things I was speaking about, especially for Africans. For a Nigerian to go to Morocco within Africa, why do you have to struggle for visa, you know?
There is no comment from me on that one. Yes, a last word from you.
Sure, I'd just say, you know, we've got a strong foundation in Angola, and we look forward to continuing to partnering and building upon it, you know, developing youth, developing talent, developing assets, you know, both in our existing asset base and our exploration. So incredibly exciting opportunities in Angola for us.
Thank you. Rui, I know there's so much we could talk about. I know you, as Total, have been working as well on revolutionizing the way you deal with, you know, local content, bringing in more people, you know, providing even support and financing in that sense and bringing in people into your supplier network. There is significant focus on getting in more women to be able to build off that. One final word from you.
Now, the final is really, we will continue to work with our partners, with NPG. What we want is really to support the government to maintain the production above 1 million and also to produce differently. We will continue to invest to produce more clean energy and to continue to invest in the next projects to come.
Okay, thank you. Last one from you.
You know, look, I like all of this energy. I think all of these projects should go forward. More developments mean they need contractors like us to come and develop, so that's
okay
for us. So, but then our promise is, while we then execute these projects, then we will also make sure, like we've done today, develop local resource skill set. It's not about just giving jobs. Yeah. Develop local resource skill set and then take them around the world. That's our promise.
Okay. Adriano, I'm kind of looking for somebody to say, you know, to poke the bear and say something, but everybody is just happy with the way things are going on in Angola. I mean, it can't be. Might be you will be.
No, I'm not the guy. I actually have to recognize that MPG in the last few years did a lot in order to create a very good environment for investing, and the result of the activity of our company here is a testimony of this. So no to regret, and actually we are working very well. Among what is Azure Energy near future, beyond what I already said, sustaining the growth and the production, I would say that we are aiming also to be a protagonist in the decarbonization of the production, and with the gas to be protagonist also for the energy transition.
But before I leave you and go to the final word to Alcides, what's it with the first green, FPSO, which
we are aiming, Agogo FPSO is very, very efficient. It's one of the two more efficient FPSO in terms of emission. We are aiming to have less than 10 kiloton equivalent per kilobarrels, so very efficient. And with some compensation, a project of compensation, we are aiming to have the first carbon neutral FPSO.
And last word to Ade Mercedes Andrade.
Well, I'm going to go back to my comments at the beginning. In Angola, our focus is agility, flexibility, and pragmatism. And I just learned from Abdullah a new concept. Everybody is happy. That's the fourth one. But our focus continues to be in creating the conditions to attract investment. We want to be the place of choice for the investors worldwide. We believe we have the right opportunities for different type and size of companies. Right now, we have about 30 blocks that we have onshore to discuss with different investors. We're talking about onshore blocks. We're talking about shallow water blocks, deep water, and ultra deep water. So different size of investment profile for different size of companies. We also believe we have a very stable fiscal, legal, and contractual environment. But not only that, we are willing to always look and listen to the investors on what they need to move the needle for them to come and invest in Angola. So please come join us. We are in our room, our office room is 1.74. We can schedule a meeting and present the opportunities that we have for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Could you please give a clap to my... Yeah, just a second. Please, 1 second, please, before you leave. Yes, Engineer Katia, please.
Thank you, Werner, for this opportunity. I think it's the same. I said ANPG, come to Angola, invest in Angola. We have Sonangol low carbon emission target. We are ahead on just energy transition. And for us, is all of us come to Angola with Sonangol. Don't forget the most important.
So come to Angola with Sonangol. There is everything that you need. One thing they didn't say, there is funge as well. So please make sure you come to Angola as soon as you can. Thank you so much. Thank you very much to the panel. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.